Just lift the crown of our head up to the sky. Knees hinge just a little. Right in the middle of you, we relax the waist. Long breath in, long breath out. We're going to use our rulers in the second half of the class. So it means we start with a little bit of our Qigong right into our Tai Chi movements. But let's first gather that Qi in the bubbling wells in the soles of our feet. Draw it up in and through you. Guide it down and out. A slow flow of an exhale down. It's a perfect time to work on the 3. We lengthen one up as we sink the others down. Let's open up a big hug from the 6, the 7 of us. Here's that one to all those other folks that give us positivity and connection. I just got off the phone with my Uncle Phil, sitting on the patio listening to the band play blocks away at the University of Kentucky. And here's that hug that's from you and to you. It's for you. Say those good things about you. There's lots of them. Pick a few and just pick a few others as we lift our arms up. A wonderful breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Maybe that 4th focus is relaxation in the jaw. Maybe we want to feel the balance to our left and right side, our front and back side. But here, let's go ahead and let's focus on lengthening our spine, our mind, our breath. Throw all the energies down. Sink it down in and through you. Let it come down to rest to the center of you. Power those 3. In through the nose, a little smile on the exhale. Hands floating in, let's sink down. Now, a little beginning practice before our Tai Chi. A little beginning practice of just shifting the weight side to side. Now, this is the same. I want it to be just as subtle as if you were going to take a step forward. Find a breath, wherever carries you your way, one side to the other. Let's have 2 more of these, pouring the weight in, pouring all the weight to one side, pouring all the weight to the other side, and then come center both sides equal. A little rocking forward and back. You find how it fits you best. Maybe we just lift the toes in the front and we just put some weight into the balls of the feet. Or maybe you shift so much you can lift the balls of the feet slightly and lift the heels gently. Now, if you do lift the heels, press into your big toes. So that way the entirety front, the fat pad of the ball of your foot is equally weighed in. And then we'll slowly come back to our stillness, find it where it fits you. And breathe. Now, the movements tonight are very small, as if you're in a very hot place. And then we're going to change that to very big moves, as if you're in a very cold place. We're going to do the beginner form, the 8 form. I call it beginner. Anyway, here we are, making a wave. Now I'm going to change my angle because the small movement is here. All right, we'll come back to see you. We all join into the same movement. Here we go. Small. Sometimes when we move smaller, we even feel our chi more. Hands are closer to the center of you. Remember, the whole body rises and sinks. The hands finish when the knees finish, when the breath finishes together as one. Now we're going to make that letter W, but it's going to be a very small W. So the hands come up, but they really only go out the width of the shoulders. Like Tai Chi clapping, we come back in, sink back down. So just to the waist. Feel the forearms, turn the hands on. Hands are doing nothing. Now the next time the hands come up, it's going to be repulse the monkey. Now we're going to turn over here to the picture side. The waist turns just a little. The arms extend half of what they usually do. And then we come right back in. Feel the waist sink down. So the arms, right, not reaching out, staying very close to you. We're drawing the energy from the hands, guiding it back in and through you. Take it to the heart. Now here, warding off. What does that look like? Well, elbows stay right next to you. The palms go palm down because it's so hard to turn being close, okay? So like on a piano. Now we roll back. A small moon. So your top hand is right about there at the heart, the center dantian, the other is the lower. We're going to take a very small step forward. So your heel should feel like it's in line with the toe. And parting the horse's mane, the hand sinks straight down in front of you, and the other hand gently draws up. So it's a small horse, if you will, a pony. So if I turn sideways, right? Usual position is here. Okay. Now we are here. Yeah. And then what do? The palms go down. We turn in. If you took a step, you bring your foot back into place. Turn the other toe out. Here we roll back. Very slight movement. There's the moon with the breath in. There's our step. Elbows stay close, like the whole time, right? Remember, brush knee is next. Like the hands are floating from the energy of the earth. The fingers float up just a little. We sink back in. Brush knee. Little step. There's your bow stance. Everything stay close to you. Remember, the more movement we do, the warmer we get. So keep it close. Almost like you have an impingement into your shoulder. You just can't reach out. Not if you tried. Here you go. There's the piano movement right there. We flow down. A little turn with the waist. Sink, focus on your 3. Take your step, brush knee. Wave hands like clouds. The palms turn to face you. And we're guiding the energy high and low. Hands are a little closer to you. No stepping, just lifting of the heel. Focus more on what's experiencing on the inside, the internal. As we're pulling this energy up and down. Like a pump. This would be our 3rd step in if we were walking sideways. Check your pelvis, check your knees, lengthen your spine. Okay, and now this one here, as we come back, this will be our 3 steps in place, but going back. Give your eyes attention to the rising hand. Imagine taking big steps, giant steps over the mountains, over the valleys, over the rivers. This is the last full movement here to the light side. Shoulders a little heavier. Now this would be finishing with our feet open. Well, they already are. So the top hand, when it comes down, it's done. And here's that last little cloud up in the sky. Now rooster crow's on one leg. We're just going to shift the weight to lift the heel. The elbow stays alongside the body, and we just lift the hand. Sinking back down. Smaller movement. Now lotus kick. The hands, we sink down just a little, right? Arms still cross over. But your kick is simply going to be a small step out, toe to the sky. The hands go just slightly wider than the shoulders, right there. That's it. And we come back down into place. You still want to focus on where the body structure is, especially your 3 and your 4th that you chose to focus on. So all the weight really is into the leg that's not doing the kick. The leg extend is just the kickstand. So we step back in, here back to the piano. Time to grasp the sparrow's tail. So the same bow stance that we've been taking. If you're giving yourself a hug, there's a little step. Now let the pulling motion be your body rocking back. The hands stay right there. Then as you rock forward, just the fingers lift. There's the push. See, the arms didn't move. And then release the wrists again. Other side. There's a bottom hand that floats up, picks up the top hand. Small step out. Whatever your small is, right? Now remember, you have to bend the knees. Always got to hinge the knees. But right here, I'm not extending out. The elbows stay in. So my forward movement is my push. Then I pull back in. That's my pull. And then just the lifting of the fingers becomes the push. Now, white crane spreads its wings. That's a pretty big movement, right? We're just going to lift the heel and turn the ankle into you, right? So heel is lifted, the toe stays in place, the heel lifts, the ankle turns in, And then just turn the top palm to me and the bottom palm what you did with your brush knee. Recycle them. Let the arms sink down beside you. And your feet together. Let's close the door. 2 steps or 1. Now come to complete stillness. Take a moment for the body to become still. From the ground up, both feet evenly weighted, both knees evenly hinged. The waist is relaxed, the spine lifted, lifted, lifted. Feel the shoulders like I'm reaching through, right? Pressing down on your shoulders. A little smile. In this beautiful place that you created in your mind space. Now let's open the door. A larger movement, larger than what you usually do. Okay? Give it a try. Here we go. So we sink down, we open the door. Feet are still shoulder width apart. Now the arms reach out like we usually do. What's different? Just wait for it. We open up. Give your eyes attention to one of your hands. Watch them come in. Now sink down a little more, And let's rise and lift open to the picture side where the lion is. So the greater movement in repulse the monkey is the sinking and the rising. The elbows still have to be bent, but song the body, right? A large breath in. Breath in. Picture yourself to be grander in the movement. Notice the complete difference from what we just did. Okay, last one's right here. Pull the hands across. Elbows are slightly away. Palms to me. Feel the waist turn. Now the hands drift down. Feel the waist pull in. T-step. That's something we didn't do before, right? Sink, sink, sink. Take a larger step that you're comfortable with. Now let's stay right here. Let's stay right here. Reach out. When you come back, don't rise up. Try to keep the knees hinged as great as you can. And there's the turn. There's a big grand movement. There we are. Let's go to the other side. Arms float up, pull across. You have to stay sunken down, right? T-step. Maybe a larger step out. There we are. Let's go to the other side. Brush knee. Now in brush knee, we're going to try to elongate the body. Here we go. Big push. Open up. And then let go. The arms, the elbows are slightly further away from the body. Come straight to you. Okay? Instead of being here, right? They're out a little bit more. Now, wave the hands like clouds. Stepping sideways. So here we go. Here's our step. The waist turns. The waist turns. The hands just stay in place. Now, what's the bigger movement here? Knees are hinged a little more. If you want to take a longer step out, if you got the room, give it a go. I don't. The hands are further away. We're holding greater chi. Now here, stay apart. Sink down to the light side, the rooster on the other side. Find as big of a movement as you can be, and then right back down. Remember, we got to keep the balance though. Don't show off for your own sake. If anything, just find where it's the best for you. Now here we go. Lotus kick. So we draw everything in. If you need to take a longer step out, you can do this, or if your foot can go higher. Draw it all in, big breath in. And there we go. Reach to me, pull across, sweep it down, your chi. Here we go. A grander step, if you will, so we can release. Now let's open up the arms like we were swimming and then pull back in. Other side. Now that movement comes to us from the wushu practitioners. When they go out and compete in Tai Chi, they make it really big. And they sweep back in. Let's go to the other side. One time, white crane spreads its wings. Bigger, almost straight arms, and let go. What a wonderful mix of the two as we close the door. Now here, in these next breaths, take a note of what you felt before in the smaller frame, if you will, practice of the exact same movements that we just did. Do you feel warmer now than you did before? So if you're cold, bigger movements. If you're hot, smaller movements. Find your balance. Let's get our rulers, shall we? Let the rulers rest in the palms of your hands. Come back to focus on your 3 + 1. Reset them. So you're probably feeling a bit warmer than you did before. So we're going to start with a smaller movement and then increase in the range of the motion that we do with the Tai Chi ruler. Let me change my angle here a little bit. So we draw up and in, noticing the temperature, the texture, the tension which we hold. We reach out from the heart, arms almost straight, we sink down. A breath up and in. Sink down and out. Notice the subtleness of each movement. As we exhale, blowing out that celebration cake, celebrating us. Guiding this energy like a pump. The more we practice, the more that pump of chi stays primed. Now, first change. Extend the spine as you lift up. When you reach out, let the spine flex forward just a little. Second change, so adding on, still the spine, now pull the shoulder blades to the spine. Feel the chest, lengthen. Now feel the shoulder blades wrap around to the side of you, shoulders go forward. Draw up and in. Let the head take a little bow. Did say the spine, so base of the skull, the tailbone. Now, if you have it, a little weight shift to the balls of your feet. And then sink the heels back to the center. Let's try that 2 more times. Remember, the weight shift forward, if you chose that, goes to the behind the big toe. Press in behind the big toe. And come to stillness. just take a note for a moment of how we began small, how we finished larger. So same range of motion with the ruler, just reverse. So we lift up, the biceps engage to lift the ruler, we draw it into the heart, sinking down the body. Check the 3. And notice the fingers are relaxed, right? You're not squeezing, hanging on tight. Now let's go ahead and watch the ruler this time and add all those other adjustments that we had, what we were finishing with. So we lift up to the heart, we lift the heels, we look up. If your balance is good with that, if not, leave the heels to the floor. Exhale, watch the ruler descend. Now we watch it rise. Now, is there anything else in you can expand, like maybe your breath? So when you breathe in, you don't think you have any other place to breathe in. Start to the back, the belly, the low back. Extra, right? Give that one more go. And sink everything down to stillness. Now, please remember that continued open invitation. That if your body says, I'm really liking this right now, I don't want to change, then stay with that one until your body says, thank you, next. Now let's reach for the stars, draw it in tight. Add all those principles we started with, but now we reach all the way up. And when you reach up, let the shoulders keep going. Shoulders keep going. Shoulders keep going. Now they reach out to me, reach out to each other. Watch the ruler descend, feel the body sink down. My ruler comes almost to my knees. There you are. Set it, forget it. Get lost in the movement. Look up if you like. Stay away from anything that says that's not okay. Remember, it's all about the ah, not about the ouch. Reach, reach. Let's have one more for me. How many more you want for you? When you're ready, just come to stillness. Notice the total warmth of you. One more big, beautiful breath in. Exhale, pour the weight to the light side. A little step out or a larger step out. Now this is where we're going to take the bow, right, and come up. So go ahead and adjust your feet. We're going to be here for 4 times. So let's rock back, bring the ruler in. We sink down, find your bow. Where's the range that fits you best? Drive into the back heel. It's the same type of driving or rooting in we have in Tai Chi that we should feel. We draw into the heart, sinking down. Now, when the back says stop, maybe the shoulders will let you go a little further. You decide when that time is to draw up, so we can draw in to begin again. Your front or your extended leg, should I say, should have a bend always and forever. Just a slight one. Let's have two more here, okay? Now, notice what's going on in the posterior chain, the back side of you. The back leg to the hamstrings, the glutes and the spine, the muscles around it that help you rise. One more. When you're ready, draw back in. Come to stillness. Pause. Feel. Breathe. You have just a slightest bit of sparkling going on. You can feel yourself almost begin. That bead of sweat is just trying to just begin to build up. Let's take the other leg out. Find your stance that fits best for you. Let's draw back in, sink back, breath in. Take a bow for yourself. Exhale. We lift, drive into the back heel. Lift up. Row back. Now don't lean back, just row back. Remember the extended leg, a little bend. Take your bow where it feels best for you. Now, just so I can stay like somewhere in the happy middle, I'm just going to go to my knee. Maybe closer to the, after this next one, I'm going to go as far as my body will allow me. Maybe your body wants to do the same. And then we come back to center. The pause. Cool off. Breathe. Rock forward and back just a little side to side. Find the center of your foot, lock it down. Then check your 3. Whatever that +1 was. Now notice how your hands feel with your ruler. The palms of the hands, the fingertips. Feel this increase of warmth in the body. Now just the opposite. We're going to extend forward, then take a bow. So we draw the ruler up. We use the leg we originally started with. Go ahead and find your position that's comfortable for you. We extend out, then shift back, take your bow, draw up, breath in. And let's reach out here. Hinge your knee, not past your toes. To the toe is fine. If you feel like you're on a tightrope, wider stance. Wiggle your foot out a little bit wider. You should be good to go. Exhale. Just like the very beginning, open up the chest, extend the spine. And then when you reach forward, extend the shoulders. Take your bow. There we are. Now And when you take the bow, release any tension in your neck. If your head wants to take a little bit of a bow, okay. One more, we'll come back to stillness. So as you draw up, come to center, however it is. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just has to be just right for you. Another big breath in, soft belly, expand the wholeness of your rib cage. Shift the weight, other leg comes out. Let's go right into it. Here we go. Step, adjust your feet, stance along the way. Release the fingers, release the tension, a little bend to the extended leg that you stepped out with. Raise the heart, and then let it go. So it's not just a physical movement, it's an energy movement, right? We're gathering it from around us, down into the earth, up through the marrow of the bone. So that way, it can go everywhere else we want it to go. Now, if your +1 is a organ of sorts, we draw it to that area. Last is here. And as you rise, however you want to wiggle, slide, and stillness. Take a few breaths, focused breaths. Find the places that are still moving in the body. Maybe something has shifted over or shifted up. Sink it down or lift it up. Let our ruler go vertical. And let's just begin to tumble. Go ahead and attach your breath to a hand. If you need to, look to your ruler so that way you know the ruler stays in the palms of the hands. So the fingers kind of wrap around it gently. Now let the waist carry it from one side to the other. One on one side, one to the center, one to your other side. Try not to change which hand your breath is attaching to. Because we're trying to, bring it all together as one. That means either you're moving too fast or your breathing's too shallow. Somewhere in there. You gotta find that balance between the movements. And when you get to your side, shift the weight to take a little step. Taking a check the temperature of the water. If you're barefooted, you'll notice the temperature of the floor. If you're not barefooted, and you can safely, without pain in your feet, that'd be awesome. I haven't talked about it in a long time. It's been a long time, but when the Great American or World Lockdown happened, I had severe pain in my left foot. Then I stopped wearing my shoes. Pain went away. Let's take our last step right here. Now, of course, any of these movements that your body just went, "Oh, that's divine." Well, that's what you do when we press stop, when you sign off. Just keep practicing. Or at least remember what it is that your body enjoyed so much and do it for the morning. And let your ruler come down in no fashion, form, shape, or way into its resting position as we do ourselves. If you have a place to let your ruler rest, let's do that now, or just put it into the palm of your right hand. I notice the difference in the temperature of the palm of my hand to the side of my ruler. It's much cooler. So let's open up this warmth that we've created, gathered around us, sink it down through us. Once again, we finish with lengthening our spine, our mind, and breath. Song of the body. As you sing a song to you, so many layers of you. And as always, I invite you to think about those people, places, things, thoughts, and ideas that bring us health, healing, hope, and happiness. To our minds, our mental energy. To our hearts, our emotional energy. Into our bodies, physical. Draw it in, sink it down. Let it infuse all of who and what you are to your atomic level. And with that, family, thank you so very much. I hope you enjoyed finding a yin yang type movement. Maybe somewhere in between, you find your Tai Chi.